All right then. So I'm collecting content like crazy. I don't know whether I'm ever going to be able to use it all, but I'm sort of like jazzed by the challenge of just demonstrating as often as possible, as often as I have time to, that there really is no need for these high rollers on YouTube to lose the way they do. But by golly, they seem to love it. They wallow in it, you know. And I was looking at Mr. Handpay's channel and thinking, you know what? I mean, there was a time when, after every one of his um, slot machine sessions, he would put up a little thing saying X amount in, X amount out, you know, profit, and so stop doing that. I think the only one now who is completely upfront about how much he loses is Vegas Matt. So I don't know. I don't know what that's about. Anyway, I guess I'll stand on that. For all the good it did me. 51, I think. Maybe it's 1-2. Maybe it's better be 1-2, I think. Okay, 3-2 minimum. Or we can split those, I guess. Oh dear. I almost doubled down, didn't I? Crap. What the hell? Still minimum, right? Yeah, 3-2 still minimum. Okay, I think we better call it 4-2, 4-2 now. Six, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Damn. 10-8. Third. This is not going our way this time. Had you noticed? 2, 1.5, I think we'll call that, and minimum. Okay, 2, 1.5. What's it? 3, 1.5. 2, 1.5, 3.5, 3.5, 3.5, 3. Does that sound right? Damn it. Okay, so 3.5, 3. So it doesn't seem to me. I think it's got to be 1-2, hasn't it? 3, 4. My God, we're getting caned here. Ouchie, ouchie. Look at this. Look at this. I mean, you know, sort of that was an easy double down. I did get crap, mind you. 3, 4. So that's 11, 12. Oh dear. I should have run away a long time ago. 11, 12, 23 minimum, which better be 500 now, I think. 23, 24. Okay, well, let's call it 23, 25. Well, that got a little bit better, didn't it? So here we were in a situation then where just one bet turned us around. But this is the whole point of the strategy. I don't normally let things run the way I did this time, but it does get a little bit sort of annoying constantly having to sort of reset and all the rest of it, because I know that in the long run it doesn't make any difference. So it's easy for me to... Okay, so time for a rude interruption. One of the many advantages that casinos have over their customers, of course, is that the house takes its games very seriously indeed, whereas your average gambler has no interest in the numbers or the nitty gritty of negative expectation. It's just about fun and excitement and let's have another free cocktail and stuff like that. So, getting serious for a few moments, let's just take a closer look at these numbers from a sequence. I like to call them skirmishes, but that's another story. That lasted barely 5 minutes. I mean, you can see it on the video, and ended with about a six return. What am I trying to say? I'm trying to say a 6%. It's actually 5.6% return on a crazy investment that's actually nothing compared to the huge sums that some of those clowns on YouTube toss around. But anyway, first thing to look at is the house edge across these 20 bets. It's 48% against us in a game where negative expectation is usually figured to be less than 1%. But hey, it happens. And a nightmarish sequence like this it's rare, but it can and it will happen from time to time. Total action over 50 grand. And when that last winning bet went out on the table, it took our exposure to over 47 grand. I'm using the royal we here because I like to think of of the folks, the 3 or 4 people who subscribe to the channel as a team, with me doing my best to set a good example. There are a couple of mistakes in here, and I've sort of let them slide because screw ups happen, and we have to be able to cope with them and then make the necessary adjustments. Cock up number 1 was early on in bet number 3 when the amount should have been $100, not 200, with a loss. Let me get this right. With a lost $200 bank double down coming next, so that would have set us back a bit faster. But bet 17 should have been the table minimum after 3 consecutive losses. So, well, that kind of offset the first. Whatever. All I'm trying to say is that the only thing that matters is that 2 wins in a row eventually showed up and turned us around. And 2 wins in a row is not an unusual sequence at all. So that's basically what we're relying on. Sometimes we have to go to 3, but it's rare. It's very rare. And obviously in that last bet situation, they're jumping from 500 to 25,000 might not be possible at the same table. It might, or it might not be. If you've already bet 1,500, then 3,000, then 2,000, then 4,000, then 12,000, then dropping down to 500 and jumping up to 25,000 might be possible in one of those cathedral-like sort of high roller places. And obviously you have to be in a situation where you can negotiate a decent sort of spread with the house. They have to know you. They have to give you permission to make the necessary bets and so on. And at the low end, you wouldn't be in the same place. I mean, all those early bets, they're sort of going all the way up to the max of 1,500. They would probably be in a different place. So this is the thing, What I'm trying to get across here is that numbers are essential and we have to understand them. We have to be equipped to deal with them mentally and in terms of bankroll. We have to be ready for pretty much anything to come down the pike. But the most important thing is we have to be sober, committed, consistent, and, well, overburdened with cash, So, what are we looking at? The other thing that I wanted to mention was that given that 48% horrendous house advantage, the total action there was just over 50 grand. So the house would have expected us to lose about that, about let's see, what's the number that I've got there? 23,910, so 24,000. That's what the numbers guys behind the scenes would expect. Okay, well, there was a 48% swing in our favor and the total action was so on, so we should have won 24,000 there, but oh dear, didn't happen. So anyway, just to sort of like wrap this up because I'm rambling on again as I usually do. Stay sober, stay sensible, stay clued in to exactly what the challenge always is, and don't even think about going up against negative expectation without that big bankroll, because it's the old story. If you can't afford to win, don't play, because you're going to lose your ass. I think I might have said that before. Anyway, here we are. We're now at 2,800 ahead, and we're going to go back down to the lowest rent tables and continue. Uh-oh, that's not right. Double for the loss. 1-2 third. 3-2 minimum. Boy, we're getting killed this time. 3-2 it is. 1-2. 3-4. Okay, that doesn't seem like enough of a wind. Oh, well, okay. Double for the loss. Damn it, I'm doing everything wrong now. Double for the loss. Repeat. Double down. Ooh. Okay. Let me see. That's something like 3-4, is it? Third. 7-4 minimum. Oh, look at that up there. Very pretty. Oh my goodness. Well, this is going to be an interesting one to match. We're still minimizing, but I think we're on about 9-4 now. Okay, so let's call it 9-4. 5-6. 11-12 third. Oh, good God. 11-12 third. 23-12. So we'll call that 2.5, 1.5, minimum of 100. 2.5, 1.5. Uh, 2.5, 1.5 it is. 4-3. We're doing it again, aren't we? 7-3 minimum. Yeah, let's make it 100 minimum. 7-3 minimum. Well, that's 7-3 in thousands, I might add. Well, I don't ever remember the like, but it'd be kind of interesting to see if we can get out of this. We're still at 7-3 in thousands. It probably is nudging on towards 8-3 now. I was expecting that to be okay, so now 4-5. Oh, Jesus, 9-10. Well, that's got to be a double down, doesn't it? And that didn't work so well, 9-10. So that's 29.20 minimum. Okay, so we're on 29.20. $29.20, so now we're on 9.10 to get out of trouble. There we go. But for the amount of risk that we went, we only made about 300 or 400, I think, on that. So I'm going to bet 1,000. Okay, so that pumped us up a bit, and now we're going to go back to the cheap tables. But I mean, this is, I'm looking forward to checking this thing out, because we are so many bets behind. I mean, everything was just, ridiculous. Finally, we got a dealer's catch. And I should have responded to that doing something or other. Oh, well, that was a repeat. Yeah, okay. So now we're on like 3-4, I think. Alright, back to the men. I'm sort of like freelancing a bit here. But you are allowed to do that because you're in charge, Repeat that. Minimum. That was a good dealer's catch too. +1 for the win. Okay. So that's 2-3, I think, third. $5-3 minimum. $5-3 it is. 8-6. Double down. We made that one, so we're creeping up, but boy, we had some money on the table. But the thing is, if you just have money, it's not enough. You can't just throw money. You've got to have some plan. You've got to have kind of I mean, the number of hands that we've lost compared to the ones we've. I mean, I will obviously run it down in a bit, but oh my goodness, he actually managed to bust that time. I mean, how is that? He had 16. Why would he bust? Okay, +1 for the win. Uh, 51. Double down. Okay, so we're out of that and we're back to the men. Yeah, every time I get feedback on these, it's sort of basically well, that's ridiculous. Nobody can bet like that. Well, these guys, these ham-fisted sort of random bettors on YouTube are betting exactly like that all the time and losing. That's the thing that I should add. And losing. I mean, certainly they don't bet 20,000. That is true. But they bet in the thousands. There's one guy, this Canadian guy, Cody Burnett. I mean, he's betting 100,000, 125,000 a hand, but then he's nuts. 2-3 maybe. I keep doing this. 2-3. Oh, 8-3 minimum. 8-3 it is. 8, 3, 11, 6. 17, 12, third. Oh, let's call that 17, 18 now, because we can. 17, 18, and hope for a turnaround. Okay, so we got our turnaround. Yeah, bump up to a turnaround when you can, you know, after a tie, but otherwise don't just do it on the whatever. Double for the loss. Okay, I think we'll call that back to a min then. That's a splitter. Oh boy. Okay. So that's like 2, 3, isn't it? Okay, minimum. Yeah, I can't say I'm happy with this one as an example of what you can do, because I just let it run and I shouldn't have, because hindsight is a wonderful thing. 5, 3, minimum. 5, 3 it is. 2, 3. Oh, dealer's catch. All right. Double for the loss. Repeat. Back to the min. Double down. What happened there? Oh yeah, we got it. Okay. +1 for the win. Boy. 51 second. 2, 3 third. 2, 3 it is minimum. No, 5, 3 minimum. 5, 3 it is, back in the money, or with the money ad. 5. Oops. I think that worked for us. So we go back to the min. But yeah, these high rollers and their random bets, I mean, they couldn't have got out of this trouble. They just couldn't. It's just that simple. 1, 2 third. 3, 2 minimum. Okay, 3, 2 it is. 1, 2. We're nearly at the end here, I think. Ouch. 3, 4. Second. 7, 8. Third. Okay, so we came out with just a couple over the 2 shoes. Oh, come on. Yeah, that was abysmal. That was absolutely awful. But we did come out with money. So, 7,500. Didn't like that at all. It doesn't really represent real play, but what it does do is it shows that if you have a plan, you have a chance. If you don't have a plan, you have no chance. So I'll keep it in the mix, and I have to keep these things anyway, for transparency's sake and honesty's sake and so on. But I did not like that at all. But we did win $7.5 grand. Not nice, that one. Did not enjoy that. Anyway, next time.